right, this was a very controversial topic, boys. It was the Antonio Brown burst reaction, something we don't see a lot. Antonio Brown essentially quit and threw away his NFL career mid-game against New York Jets. If you guys obviously didn't see that clip, ran across the end zone, took off his shirt. Reaction-wise, it's been a day since it happened. How are we feeling about Antonio Brown? Because that was something I've never seen before.
I'll be honest, I don't really know what was going through his head. Like, I don't, as you said, like, I've never seen something like that
Yeah.
before, except for maybe the only thing that I think can compare is Earl Thomas.
Mhm.
And I think it was a statement. And one thing we'll talk about is does Antonio Brown have a future in the NFL? And I think no at this point. I think after the Steelers, we thought he was done. Patriots picked him up. He got a little bit lucky. Then he came to the Bucks, where he's been relatively successful with the Bucks. And clearly something's going on that we are not informed about. And I think that's it. I think he's done. I think he's got to
Yeah.
be.
Well, what's interesting about that is that the Buccaneers actually didn't officially release him today.
Yeah, I saw that today.
He's still
I know, I
technically
did.
rostered by them. However, I think more than anything, more than memeing him, more than doing these things and making fun of him, really bashing him for this, I think we need to, as a society, as an NFL fan base, just come together and be there for these types of guys. I know he had a crazy outburst, but he's definitely not in the right state mentally. And if we keep on making fun of these guys with serious CTE problems, potentially, you have no idea how downward spiral it could go. So more than anything, we have to be cautious about what we say on the internet. Just make sure we're not absolutely flaming the dude. He's definitely has his own problems. That being said, it is inexcusable, and I don't think he makes another roster.
See, that's the thing. I agree. All right, yeah, CT, big problem. This guy deserves, and Dylan, this is where I don't agree. I don't think this guy deserves any sympathy. This guy has beaten women. This guy has had a fake vaccination card. This guy has called people crackers, racial slurs. I don't think this guy deserves any sympathy, no matter what mental state you're in. The things he's done at this point, I don't know why he's still in the league. This guy is a cancer to teams. And, I think really the only, true, not really controversial, and even then, not really. I mean, he blamed the Steelers for giving Juju Smith-Schuster MVP of their team, which literally has no importance. He is a toxic NFL player. He's a toxic human. I don't think this guy deserves any sympathy. And I want to say that. And again, we're not going to touch on this too much. This doesn't have too much to do with the NFL, but this guy, to me, deserves no sympathy. This guy is not a good person. CTE, big problem. This guy needs help. Quite obviously, this guy has some mental thing that's wrong with him. And I agree with, I think, clowning him for it is a big deal. I think we need to look more into it and be like, okay, this guy has a mental problem. This guy needs help. And obviously his reaction to this was, he didn't seem phased, which was definitely the big, kind of the big red flag for me was how he responded to this on Instagram. But this guy to me deserves, he's a bad person. This guy is not, he's maybe not a bad person, but this guy is a very, very controversial human. I think sympathy wise, in terms of just the actions he has, he deserves nothing from me. And that's
here's where I disagree with you. And I still don't want to touch too much on this because this isn't really NFL based. I just want to finish off my thought process. When he came into the league and up until 2016, before that Vontez Burfict monster hit on his head.
Yeah, that's the hit that comes to mind.
He was a stable NFL player with the best work rate out of any wide receiver in the league. I don't know if any of you guys remember. I was definitely interested in the NFL at a large scale when I was 8 years old, and I knew Antonio Brown was an absolute star for his team, and I knew
he was the best player in the NFL.
He was the best position player in the NFL, and something changed, and it was that hit.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that because I feel like when I say that, it's me trying to make a joke, but like quite honestly, I agree. It's that hit to me seems like what flipped something. I mean, that hit was egregious and obviously got knocked out from it. I mean, that's unfortunately the problem that, you decide to go to the NFL, you probably shorten your lifespan by 40, 50 years. So, you get that fame.
Bit of an
40 to 50. I don't know about that.
I mean,
these guys aren't dying mid-career.
No, but what do you mean? People aren't playing when they're 40 years old. I say the average lifespan is 80 years old. I'd say these guys, maybe not 50, but I say they play until besides quarterback average age, you play till it's like, 30, 31. And I'd say they die, again, I'm saying people with serious injuries, which happens a lot. They die when, 31, 50, 60. So, as opposed to so maybe not 40, 50 years, but, as opposed to maybe the average of 70, 80. So I think it shortens your life by quite a bit.
I don't think it's that long.
It's definitely a long amount of time. If you get CTE, you will most likely
That's
I
true.
mean, it
No,
makes you
that's true.
insane.
Yep. Well,
It-
regardless, it's probably not something we want to linger on for too long.
Yeah.
So if you want to head on to the next one, Kian, what do we got next?
Yeah. So next up,
quickly, one more thing though. Quickly, one more thing.
yeah,
though.
I mean,
We are not medical professionals. If you guys want to correct us in the comments for anything we said wrong, I 100% am willing to understand and take your word for it. I'm not a doctor. Just wanted to put that out there. Okay, now we go on.
I think, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is that NFL players are dying faster than other athletes. That's how it goes. That is a factual statement. I just looked it up. They're at higher risk of dying.
All
And
right.
it's obviously the head injury. And again, just to, finish out the Antonio Brown situation again, is like we said, this guy will probably not be signed to another team. Although, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised with the talent this guy brings if someone wants to bring them in for a year. But again, I doubt it. I don't think he should be re-signed. And I think definitely this guy's career was ended, but, just, definitely terrible to see, coming from someone who had so much talent.